Was it a risky thing to do? You bet your ass it was. But one of us had to try to do it. I tried to make my presence as known as possible, calling out to him with one hand in the air and a camera in the other, letting him know I was press and I was only trying to get photographs. The VC soldier understood this. He did try to use intimidation against me though, and told me he would kill me if I didn't point where the Americans were. I just pointed down the hill in some random direction. In fact, it was the opposite direction of where I found the dead reporter and where I took all his clothes and equipment, and where the rest of my squad was holding out waiting for me to come back. Now I had these amazing pictures and this incredible story to tell the boys. This dumb son of a bitch never saw me coming. Our chopper was under heavy enemy fire when I made the ridiculous choice of jumping out to try to save myself. My legs were broken, they were smashed all to hell. But I was alive and regained consciousness just in time to see my own chopper rolling down the hill on fire, followed by my teammates' lifeless bodies. Now all I had to do was army crawl my broken ass legs through 30 miles of bush to the nearest base. This generation is incredibly soft. All I ever hear is complaints. I don't want to walk here. I don't want to walk there. I need a ride. I need help with this, or I need help with that. But until you have to crawl through a field of your dead enemies to get where you gotta go, I don't want to hear any complaining out of you. When I was in Nam, I did like to consider myself a bit of a demolition expert. Well, at least I like to blow shit up anyway. This particular day was a real shit show for me, because this was only one of 2 times I almost got myself dead that day. This goddamn BTR almost ran my head clean over. I mean, seriously, it was close enough I could have gave those tires a little kiss. Now the second time was a little different. I had C4 planted all over this Jeep, and then I planted the Jeep in the road. Not with any particular plan, but just for any poor bastard that came to hit it. That goddamn blast knocked me clean off my feet. But to be fair, I didn't expect those sons of bitches to come in with that kind of speed. And I didn't expect them to hit my Jeep like a goddamn ramp and catch that kind of air. I got away with just a couple minor scrapes and bruises, which is more than I can say for these poor bastards. I was given this bullshit task to keep this so-called war correspondent alive. Look at this fucking hat. Fucking saying I'll never catch on. So now, not only do I have to worry about getting my own head blown off, I have to worry about this asshole too. And this son of a bitch wasn't making it easy. He almost got his legs blown off a number of times. When I said hold back, he ran forward. When I said left, he went right. This motherfucker was all over the place trying to get the perfect shot, as he liked to say. To think this guy didn't want a personal escort is insane. This guy wouldn't have lasted 10 minutes out here on his own. Sometimes in Vietnam, the only way to stay alive was to shut up and be quiet. It wasn't brute force and it wasn't firepower. Sometimes you could do everything right, be still as a board and be quiet as a mouse. But it's not always your movements or your voice that gives you away. The body reacts differently under pressure, and this time it almost got me killed. Usually I would set up these traps to take out enemy transport, but I'm not above setting it off for one poor bastard. And this guy noticed what it was at the last second. The good news for him was he probably didn't have time to be scared or feel much of anything, but the bad news was his comrades were going to have a hard time telling who he was without a face. When I was in Nam, I always said I wouldn't ride in the back of a truck, always in the cab. I wasn't going to put my life in the hands of some drunk hillbilly who had no regard for anybody else. Look at this shit. All 5 men tossed from the back. God only knows where they ended up. The craziest part about it all, after tumbling down a goddamn mountainside and throwing everyone out the back, was this son of a bitch was only worried about his smokes. We were advancing on a base when I ran into a VC soldier and we opened fire on each other. He got the better of me and my face hit the dirt. I thought that was the end of me. When you hear this sound, and all you can see is the barrel of a gun in the face of your enemy. This man is a hero. He saved my life and I will forever be in debt to him. This man's name was What's Up My Giga, and I'll never forget him. We could all hear the truck approaching, but the problem was we weren't expecting any supplies coming in. And then all hell broke loose. I still have no idea what this poor bastard was thinking. If he was drunk or maybe he'd taken a wrong turn, I have no idea. He delivered himself to a meat grinder and brought us a truck full of supplies. Also, that was the day I got myself an AK. I had reached a point where I was completely tired of the bullshit. Tired of the underground tunnels, tired of the jumping out of trees, tired of the goddamn booby traps, and just sick of the Viet Cong shenanigans altogether. I had decided I would always make myself a moving booby trap, ready to plant my trap wherever need be, and this was a perfect spot, ready for Viet Cong to come in and take the bait. They had no idea what they were driving into. With one click of the button, I sent 4 of those bastards straight to Vietnamese hell, while the 5th one tried to escape the burning steel inferno he was trapped in, but I had a couple bullets waiting for him. Nobody was escaping that day. In Vietnam, some R&R time could get a little wild for the men, and these boys had definitely tied on a few too many. They kept going on about trying to beat Neil Armstrong and Buzz to the moon. I don't know if this is exactly what they were going for, or if Private May was supposed to be on that rocket, but he was. What a goddamn shit show. I was lobbing frags over the wall as we were still under attack as we tried to take over this Vietnamese base. But then I caught something out of the corner of my eye. Look at this shit. This little tunnel rat thought I didn't see him hiding in there, so I tossed in a grenade, hoping to completely obliterate him. All I heard was a scream and wincing in pain, so I ran in there as quick as I could, raised my rifle and put a couple into his back. That was good enough to get the job done. Now I could use his corpse as cover. When you're at war, I think it's a good thing to believe in something, that someone or something is looking over you. If there isn't, I don't know how to explain something like this happening. My ass should have never made it out of Vietnam.